Good morning, guys. I am here at Vlogmas day 3. I was going to call it day 2 and do 12 of them, but I think I'm going to just call it day 3 because it's the 3rd. So that's kind of how I'm working at the moment. As you can tell, I am still not well. My voice is doing all sorts of awful things, and I've got a bunged up nose. I've got a little Rudolph nose already, and I'm just not doing particularly well at the moment, but the show must go on, as they say. Vlogmas cannot stop for me, so I've got to keep going, got to keep giving you all these videos for the next 24 days. This one is going to be my first point and shoot kind of sitting video, so I'm... Sorry, I was just watching Sound for God on my YouTube, and the PlayStation controller started to just suddenly scroll it backwards, so I was just watching the beginning again, so that was a bit weird, sorry. And as I was saying, this is my first kind of sit and talk video on my new camera. Gary. So I'm quite excited to do that, see how it comes out, because obviously I've just been doing these ones where I'm holding it like this. But I want to do one now that's a sit and point, so I'm very excited, and I will get on with it just now. Okay, I'm all set up for my first sitting video. It's very exciting. The one thing I would say about this camera, actually, I do absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. But the one thing I have noticed, which seems to only really be happening when I'm not filming, is the autofocus makes lots of ticking sounds. But if I'm sat here, it doesn't really... It's fine. So it just seems to be when I'm holding the camera and it's trying to focus on something when I'm not yet filming. So for some reason that's happening, but as it's not happening when I'm filming, I'm not too worried about it. So if you can all do your best to ignore my little red nose and my hideous voice right now, I'm going to take you through my top 10 favourite films for the Christmas period. And these are not necessarily all films that I 100% need to watch every Christmas. In fact, I don't really watch that many Christmas films at Christmas anyway. I certainly won't make a very large effort to watch all 10 of these every time I get around to the kind of Christmas period. I like Christmas films. My mum watches a lot of Christmas films during the weekends. The weekends are when I work. So I end up not watching any, really, when it gets towards Christmas. But she sticks one of those Christmas movie channels on the telly and just watches whatever comes up. So yeah, I'm going to take you through some of my favourite things I like to watch at Christmas time. So number 10 on my list is The Santa Claus. Now, this film I haven't actually seen that much. And when I say The Santa Claus, I think I really mean all of that series. I don't really mean just the first film. I believe there's 3, possibly 4. But I like the whole series as a franchise. I like Tim Allen, and I think it's a really clever process that they go through to kind of talk about how he became Santa, and then the other films he is Santa. So it's a really clever concept, I suppose. So I really like the Santa Claus films, and I do like the one that has Jack Frost in it as well. I think that one's really good. So I'm kind of a fan of them, but I don't watch them religiously, which is why they're kind of at number 10. I don't feel like I need to watch them at Christmas to make it Christmas. But yes, they are really good films, and I'm quite happy that we actually have all of them on DVD. Number 9 is a bit of a weird one. It's one of those that we've had since we were children on DVD, and you kind of get sentimentally attached to things that you've had since you were kids. Again, I don't watch this every year, but it's certainly one that I would consider watching, which is Barney and Friends Waiting for Santa. And that sounds incredibly lame, but it's a film from like the early 90s, and obviously it's Barney and Friends, and it's all about this little boy who doesn't have any friends because he's new to the area, and he wishes that his Christmas wish is that he could have some friends, and it's like, oh, and then him and a bunch of others and Barney all travel to the North Pole to meet Santa, and it's all a bit weird, but it's got some great songs, and it's really kind of sentimental to me, I suppose, because I watched it with my brother when I was younger, and although it's not a traditional Christmas film, it's one of my traditional Christmas films, so that's why that's number 9 on my list. Number 8, absolute classic, Miracle on 34th Street. Now, I'm talking about the later version, the one with Mara Wilson in it, who is the child that's most famously known for playing Matilda. So it's the one with her in it. And I think it might have been Richard Attenborough as Kris Kringle, but I might be wrong. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that version of the film, it's such a wonderful, again, the sentiment to the film. The fact that, you know, the parents are a little bit like all parents are in Christmas films, where they don't really care that much because they don't believe what the children are doing. They think they've got vivid imaginations and that sort of stuff. But actually, it turns out at the end that the children were right all the way through the film. And it's a really, really lovely Christmassy sentiment as a film. I hope you noticed, by the way, that I'm trying to be really vague about how I tell these reasons, because I don't want to say, oh, because of that really big thing that happens in that film, because that's a massive spoiler to those that might not have seen it. So I'm trying to be really vague. So if you actually have no idea what I'm talking about, then you'd best go watch the film. Because, yeah, you kind of need to know. Number 7 on my list is Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. Now, this one is kind of the same as the Barney and Friends one. It's one that we've had for many years. And Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas is, if I've got the right title, that is, I hope I have, is where you're going through like an advent calendar, and you're going into all the different windows of the advent calendar, and you're watching all these little shorts to do with Mickey and his friends and Christmas. It's a really, really cute watch, and my favourite one out of them is the one which is Huey, Dewey and Louie wish it could be Christmas every single day of the year, and their wish comes true, and they end up getting a bit bored of Christmas, and it does make me laugh every time. So yeah, Chip and Dale are also in that one as well, and I do love a good bit of Chip and Dale. Oh, I just had a massive sneeze, and it kind of surprised me. So yeah, I just spent a few minutes getting over it. So number 6. Number 6 is a film that actually Mum found on the Christmas channel. We had no idea what it was, and I think it's actually got 2 separate names. If I used the wrong one, I apologise, but it's called Snowed In at Rosemont. And I really love this film. Watched it the first time and I thought, oh, that's a nice film. But then watched it a second time and actually went, you know what, no, this is a good film. And it's about, as you can tell by the title, some people that get snowed in at a place called Rosemont. And it's really lovely. Lots of slightly dramatic things happen, but there ends up being this kind of whole theme of family and sticking together and helping strangers and that sort of stuff. It's just a really sweet film. So if you get to the chance to see Snowed In at Rosemont, or whatever the other title is, then definitely give it a try. Number 5 is another one which comes with a little bit of a story. So number 5 is The Muppets Christmas Carol. Now, I work at a theatre company, which is basically takes up my entire life, I'm going to be honest. Most of the people that go there, that teach there, love The Muppets Christmas Carol. And we're doing a Christmas show at the moment, which I'm sure you will hear about next weekend, because that's when the performance is. And we're doing a Christmas Carol, and we've taken some of the songs from The Muppets and put it in there. And everyone's like, I love The Muppets so much. And this year I go, absolutely, yeah, I agree. Really good film. But I hadn't seen it until this time last year. I was 22 years old when I first saw Muppets Christmas Carol, which to all of these people that work at this theatre company and go there and have performed that, they thought that was awful. Because, you know, I had to have seen The Muppets Christmas Carol. Why haven't I seen it? What have you been doing with your life? That sort of thing. It's quite funny. And I've now watched it and I get what they were saying. It's a really good film. So yes, I'm definitely going to be watching that again this year because it was really good. And I don't know why I took so long to actually get on with it, because yeah, it's a very good film. Film number 4 is just missed out on the top 3, but yeah, definitely a really good one. Is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Now, my dad introduced me to this one. He loves National Lampoon stuff. The Christmas Vacation one is actually the only one I've seen. I haven't seen other National Lampoon films. But the Christmas Vacation makes me laugh so much. For those of you that have seen it, my favourite bit is the cat and the tree. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to ruin it for everybody else. But the cat and the tree make me laugh. There's just so many funny moments and so many things that go wrong. It's just one of those disaster films for a family Christmas, basically. So it's really, really, really funny, and one of those things that when it comes on the telly, I think, yep, gotta watch that. And actually, a few years ago, Dad went and bought the DVD, so we can actually sit and watch it if we want to this Christmas, which chances are I probably will. Okay, top 3, here we go. Number 3 is another slightly strange one. It's the Disney sing-along songs 12 Days of Christmas. So Disney released this whole sing-along songs series. We've got a couple of other ones that aren't Christmas. We've got like a camping one, and we've got one to do with Walt Disney World and all sorts of other sing-along songs. And it's really, really fun because you've got the words at the bottom. You can sing along with songs. They're not necessarily all ones from films. They could be park songs. They could be songs that they've stolen and just stuck in this film, but it usually follows the real life characters, so the ones that you get in the Disney parks, going round and having fun in that particular circumstance. So at Christmas, at the beach, while camping, at Walt Disney World, that sort of stuff. And the Disney Sing-Along Songs Christmas one, the 12 Days of Christmas, is really good because they're all just singing Christmas songs. I used to get a bit scared of the end because it was We Wish You a Merry Christmas, and they're all singing around this tree and it's beautiful, but then Mickey suddenly grows a Santa beard, and I used to get really creeped out by it. I don't know why, because I mean it's Mickey and it's a Santa beard. There's nothing scary about those two things, but for some reason Mickey in a Santa beard was like, no. But my favourite one is there's reindeer at one point and they're all dancing. But they're all dancing like hip-hop. I think it's Hip-Hop Noel might have been the song. But the reindeer are all like street dancing and doing like the worm and stuff on the floor. It's hilarious. But it's just a bit of fun, and it's something that traditionally me and my brother particularly would watch at Christmas. So again, it probably doesn't apply to any of you out there. But if it does, let me know. If you've seen it and you really enjoy it, please let me know so I feel like I'm not alone. And that's definitely one that I'll be watching, even if it's by myself, this Christmas. Okay, second place. I don't think it could be Christmas or a Christmas movies countdown without Love Actually. I know this one's a little bit controversial because some people are like, it's not even a Christmas film, it's just set at Christmas. No, that is true, but it's set at Christmas, so to me it's a Christmas film. You know, as films go, it's not my favourite. I think it's a really good film. But I just love watching it at Christmas because obviously it's set at Christmas. But the thing that makes me happy is the way that everybody connects. And you know, Christmas is a time of being with your family and seeing people that you perhaps haven't seen for a long time and stuff like that. So I think the sentimentality of it for me is really nice at Christmas, because you think, oh, that person was that person's sister, and then they were because of the school and the Prime Minister. Oh yeah, oh that's nice, that's clever. So you end up doing that. It's really good fun. There are some things I definitely don't agree with. For instance, Alan Rickman completely ruining Emma Thompson's life. That's not cool. Not cool. It's a good one to watch. If you haven't seen it, firstly, where have you been? But also, try it, because it's just so good. Okay. Last but not least, my number one Christmas film, drumroll, is The Holiday. I love The Holiday. I think it's such a good film. This is one of my favourite films ever, not just favourite Christmas films. I just think it's amazing. I know some people think it's a bit dull. Like, what's the point? You know. But that's fine. Fine by me. Doesn't stop me from loving it. I think it's amazing. I like the fact that it's predictable. You know that when they... I don't know how to do this cryptically. When they do the thing that they the two girls do at the beginning, you know that it's going to end up the way that it does. But I just love seeing the development of the pairs at Christmas. I'm really bad at trying to make this cryptic. It's quite hard to do. I like it, basically. It's a really sweet film. It's really, really lovely. And I love Jack Black and I love Jude Law. So there's not a lot that can go wrong with this, to be honest. Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz, I could give or take. Could be any female actress, to be honest. But those two were so perfect, the two guys, because I'm pretty sure they played themselves. You can imagine Jude Law being 100% as he was in that film, and we all know that Jack Black is 100% that character. So yeah, it was also very hard watching The Holiday for the first time and not going, oh, it's Dewey Finn, because School of Rock is, let's face it, the best film ever. So yeah, it was a bit weird watching it the first time, but Jude Law and Jack Black in the same film is bound to be amazing. So I think it's a very sweet film, and definitely worth the watch if you haven't seen it already. Right, I'm going to have to stop it there, otherwise I'm literally going to have no voice, and I'm going to do a performance tomorrow. I'm not convinced how well that's going to go, unfortunately. Yeah. So I will obviously update you, possibly in day 5, as to how that went, if it went at all. But yes, I have to do a performance. I've got to stop talking to you and spend the rest of the day not talking to anybody. Until this evening, when I have a performance that some of my kids that I musically direct are doing. So I'm going to have to be yelling at them. Yay. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I hope my camera has done its job properly. I cheated a little bit and I put my little viewfinder down so I couldn't look at it, because I'd just spend the whole time looking at myself like this. So I've just looked at you, because you are the most important thing when I'm filming these things. And I hope he's done his job properly. Good old Gary. And I have a little list of what I'm going to be doing for day 5 and day 7 and day 9 and day 11, etc. So I hope that you enjoyed them, because I'm really excited to film them and to share them with you all. I hope you have a wonderful few days, and I will see you on the 5th. Bye!